Welcome back on my channel. I'm Christian, you are here on Just Christian, and today I want to do a comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE 5G, what a name, and the Xiaomi Poco F2 Pro, again also what a name. Those two phones are very interesting and I want to compare them. Let's go. So here we are. Here we have the two beauties. On the left hand we have the Samsung Galaxy FE 5G and here we have the Poco F2 Pro. Now let's do a little walk around and see how is the build quality, what are the materials, and check the displays. So first of all we have a triple camera setup on the FE, and on the Poco F2 Pro we have a quad camera setup. Ultra wide, wide and zoom lens, and here we have an ultra wide and wide lens, depth of field sensor and kind of a macro sensor, but we discuss the cameras later. Then we have glass build on the Poco F2 Pro and we have a plastic build on the FE. The build quality of this plastic is so great and it feels so good in the hand. Yeah, it's kind of matte finish. Yeah, it feels great. When every plastic bag is like this, I don't have any problems with a plastic bag. And when you drop it, it will not damage like a glass bag is damaging. Yeah, then maybe a little bit more scratches, but it's not bursting like glass. Yeah, and as you can see, this is a fingerprint magnet here on the back, and here we have no fingerprints at all because it's a matte finish. Then we go around. Let's check the right side. We have the volume rockers. Yeah, the build quality is crazy good. Yeah, we have on and off switch here with a tiny little red accent. I like it. Then we have an aluminum frame on the FE and the Poco. On the left hand we have nothing in both cases. And on the top we have the SIM card tray, which is for 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card and 1 micro SD card. Then we have a microphone, and in this case we have the pop-up selfie camera. Then we have a 3.5mm headphone jack and we have a microphone. And those antenna things, I don't know the right English word for, sorry about that. So then we look at the bottom of the devices. Here we have the SIM card tray. There is no expandable memory. Here we can expand the memory, I told you. Micro SD to 1 terabyte. Here is no expandable memory, but we have 128 inbuilt memory, so must be enough for 90% of all of you. Then we have the speaker, and here we have also a speaker, and we have a microphone and USB-C port. And on the FE we have a second speaker here. So this is a stereo speaker setup and this is a normal mono speaker setup. So let's talk about the displays. On both sides we have OLED displays, in this case 6.5 inch and here 6.67 inches. So these are big phones. In both cases they are heavy, but this one is much lighter. It's 190 grams compared to 219 grams. So this is quite hefty, but I like the feel of this heftiness in my hand because it feels great. This one is also not that bad, but compared, I like this one more in my hand because I like a hefty feel in my hand, but it's up to you what you want. It's your own preference. In both cases, I told you OLED with a nice peak of brightness. And when you are in direct sunlight, turn on the automatic, then it turns lighter then. Yeah, when you have the automatic switched on. So it's not a problem to look at those displays in daylight, so no problem at all. In both cases I like the colors, I like the brightness, I like the sharpness, I like everything about those two displays. In this case we have slimmer bezels, a little bit thicker on the chin, but in total we have no bezels at all because this has a pop-up selfie camera, and this one has a punch hole notch and with a little bit bigger forehead, and a little bit thicker chin, but for me it's not that problem. Both look great, with one caveat: we have 120 Hz here and 60 Hz here. Is there any difference? Yeah, when you compare them side by side, there is a huge difference. So this is the first thing, but I like those live wallpapers on the Poco. This is great. Okay, this was it with the displays. UI, in both cases we have Android 10 on the one side with One UI 2.5, all the bells and whistles with wireless DeX and everything. And here we have the brand new MIUI 12 over Android 10. This is not the current safety patch, I have to update it. So it's from the last month then. Yeah. So Android 10, and this will get Android 11 as well. No, doch, this will get Android 11 as well, and this also. So it's coming in the next few weeks, I think. So there is no big difference with these UIs when it comes to security patch and when it comes to the Android variant. So there are differences between the UIs itself. Notifications, notification center here. In this case, you have notifications on the left and your control center on the right. So this is kind of Apple-like, yeah. But I like it. I like both UIs. So it's up to you. It's your own preference. What do you like more? Do you like One UI or do you like MIUI? So I don't want to be a judge there. So you are the judges and say what's your preference. So I would say this is a spare when it comes to the UI. Next point, let's talk about performance. Both devices have the latest and greatest Snapdragon 865, not the Plus version. The Plus version is not a big thing for me. It's just a little bit overclocked, but there is no big difference between the normal stock 865 and the 865 Plus. So both have the 865 and this is great. So for you guys in the US, this phone is not a big deal because the normal S20s have also the 865 built in, and here in Germany and in Europe we have the Exynos, only the Exynos versions with the normal S20s. So this is for us here in Europe a big thing because this is the only S20 with a Snapdragon chipset, and we don't talk about Exynos and Snapdragon now because you know all the things about it and less battery life and blah blah blah, so we don't talk about it yet. But both have the same processor, both have the same amount of RAM, 6 GB. There are 8 GB versions, but in this case only with the Exynos processor, so rubbish, don't buy it. When you want to buy it, then the 6 GB with the Snapdragon. And here we have also a 6 GB RAM version. There is an 8 GB RAM version with more storage, 256 GB. So here in this case 128 and 6 GB of RAM. So let's talk about performance. Is there any difference in performance? Okay, it looks like, because we have 120 Hz here and 60 Hz here, but this is for me not an issue, because the performance in games, normal daily stuff, is totally similar. It's even, there's no difference. So performance is great. You can play everything you want. You can watch every movie you want on it. You can do some video cutting or some, so it's not a problem. They are totally similar when it comes to the performance. So let's talk about the next thing, and this is the cameras. And here I make the story very short because I did a camera comparison. You can see it here in, push that button here and then you see the video. I did a camera comparison to make a long story short. This one has the better camera when it comes to video and to photos. In total it's the better camera. So we don't discuss the camera now. Watch my video about the camera. So the next thing is battery life. And this is a very interesting one. Here we have a 4500 milliamps battery and here we have 4700, but here we have only 60 Hz. This means I have a display on time with this phone about 9 hours plus X. Means I have 10% on a battery charge and it's more than 9 hours. Here I have with the Snapdragon version, and this is great, 6.5, 7, but with 120 Hz. When I switch it back to 60 Hz, I will reach something around 8 hours. Maybe there's one hour more compared when I compared with 120 Hz. So this has the slightly better battery performance when you compare them 60 Hz to 60 Hz. And when it's 120 Hz to 60 Hz, you have much more of battery here, but you have only the 60 Hz here. So battery is in both cases is good. Yeah, you will have a full day of fun with this devices and then charge it back, then recharge it in the afternoon. Yeah, when you need a little bit more of juice out of this battery, switch it back to 60 Hz and then you have a little bit more time left. When it comes to recharging, this has wireless charging, this has no wireless charging. This one has reverse wireless charging, this one has no reverse wireless charging. This one has 25 watts of charging, this one has 33 watts of charging. There is no big difference, but there is only a 15 watts charger in the box, and here we have the 33 watts charger in the box. So this is a difference, so you need to buy another charger from Samsung to have this 25 watts. When you charge it with a 15 watt charger, you need 90 to 95 minutes to charge it from 0 to hero, from 0 to 100%. And here it's from 0 to 100% in about an hour, 60 minutes, 63 minutes. Yeah, it's a bit of a difference. This is the battery. Then let's discuss the price. And this is the big elephant in the room. This one here in Germany is about 700 euros. This one here is about 370 to 400 euros. So you can say it's half the price. So is this twice better than this? No. When it comes to camera, it's better, and that's it. For daily use. Yeah? So are those two phones flagship killers because we have the latest and greatest chips inside? On the one hand, yes, and on the other hand, no. This one, in my opinion, is a great flagship killer because we have everything built in. We have a total package. We have the great processor. We have wireless charging. We have a great display. We have 120 Hz. We have a great battery life. We have reverse wireless charging, we have an IP rating, we have Wi-Fi 6, we have NFC, we have fast storage, everything we need. And in this case, there is no official IP rating, there's no wireless charging, there's no reverse wireless charging, there are some bells and whistles missing. And for me, a flagship killer is a phone which does everything the same like a flagship or better for less price. Okay, we have less price here, but there are some things missing, so I can't say this is a flagship killer. Here in this case, I can say it's a flagship killer. Okay, we have to cut some edges, the back. But this is not for me an issue because when it's built like this, it's great. So I would say this one here is a real flagship killer and this not. So who should buy which device? So when you need all the bells and whistles and everything, then buy this one, especially for the better camera and 120 Hz. But when you say, okay, I don't care about 120 Hz, I don't need an IP rating, I don't need wireless charging, these are the big differences for me, wireless charging, the 120 Hz, yeah, and an IP rating maybe, and you don't care about those, then take this one, because you have flagship level performance. You can play everything what you want. You have a flagship-like display without 120 Hz, but the colors, the brightness, the contrast, everything is great. It's flagship level. The camera is okay for this price. It's good for this price, but not a flagship camera. And you have fast, very fast charging. And you have Wi-Fi 6 and 5G when this is an issue for you. So if you are on a budget and you don't need all the bells and whistles, take this one for around 360 to 400 euros. Then there's enough money left for nice headphones, for example, or save some money, because in these crazy times it's not so easy to save the money. Here in this case you can save money. And when you say I need a flagship, I want to have the flagship experience with everything a flagship has, then take this one. Hopefully this video will help you. Write me down in the comments what you want to see next. If you want to see more of my English content, sorry for my bad English, then put it down in the comments, and stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope I see you soon in the next one. Bye bye.